also tracking, I mean, this is just, again, a historical moment as we see this kind of make our way to Southern California.
Yeah, you know, to see a landfalling tropical system in California, we've only seen that once back in 1939. It was a tropical storm. I misspoke last hour saying hurricane. It was a tropical storm. But we've had a lot of near misses, right? A lot of remnants. And a lot of folks down in Southern California think to last September. We had the remnants of Hurricane K. You were in San Diego.
Right.
And you had some flooding down there.
And it's so fascinating because these beach communities just aren't used to those waves and the surge of moisture at all. And so when it comes to watching boardwalks that are usually filled with tourists and vacation homes that are not prepared for hurricane or even tropical storm force winds or waves, it really does have its impacts, and that's what they're dealing with now.
Absolutely, you know, especially with the storm being so strong well to the south, you're going to have it's already a major hurricane. Check out the satellite, and it's already producing those waves and it's going to push those high swells from a major hurricane northward. Now, the one thing is we're going to be monitoring the exact track where that center is, because winds around a hurricane flow counterclockwise. So across much of the coastline, you're going to actually have an offshore wind. Some areas will see more of an onshore wind, and that will make a big difference too when it comes to those coastal impacts. But Hurricane Hilary, latest advisory, now a Category 3, packing winds of 120 miles per hour. It's a very healthy storm, and it's been intensifying fairly quickly over the last 24 hours. It became a tropical storm just yesterday. So what we're going to see is Hilary strengthening more, likely to a Category 4 hurricane going into this weekend. In red, this is where you have ocean water temperature that's above 80. That's enough to sustain a hurricane. Once you get above that, north of that, water's too cold. So the storm is going to start to lose a lot of its tropical characteristics. It's going to begin to weaken fairly quickly, along with interacting with some land. But folks in Southern California may be nervous on Sunday to see you may have still a Category 2 hurricane just to the south, but this will start to weaken very quickly as it makes its way toward the north. And it's not much of the cone to be looking at. It's more so the heavy rain and the flooding aspect that we're going to be seeing, especially flash flooding in Southern California. That's going to be the big concern there in the days ahead. And we'll have a lot more on this coming up in the course of the next half hour and again tonight. Locally, our impacts with the moisture, we'll be seeing some of that moisture extend toward the north, and that will result in some showers across parts of the valley. I'm not expecting it to be a big deal in our area, but up in the higher elevations, up in the foothills, in the Sierra, you will see some more of the way of heavier rain. But Southern California may see upwards of about, especially east of the mountains of LA, about 4 to 8 inches with that going into Sunday, Monday. That's going to be the peak impacts there. And then the moisture with that quickly will go to the north. In terms of our local weather now, we've had some thunderstorms. Those storms will end. We will see more Sierra storms tomorrow, but temperature-wise tomorrow, we're going to be out of the hundreds. We see the brief spike in the temperature Saturday, down to lower 90s, 80s Monday, Tuesday, with more clouds than sunshine. And I'll show you the forecast here for the foothills and for the Sierra as we're looking at some more in the way of that rain. But again, when it comes to Hilary, into Hurricane Hilary at this point for Sunday, Monday, I think most of the impacts will be missing us well down to the south and east, but certainly going to be a storm for flooding across the southern parts of the state. Hunter?